Good morning. This is Erwin St. Rose reporting for WKEJ News, live from New York City. 6 people were arrested and 4 officers were injured after a verbal argument escalated into a brawl and robbery at a Long Island bowling alley the other night. Police said. Police said 21-year-old Dehanna Curtis got into an argument with 24-year-old victim at Garden City Bowl on Stewart Avenue in East Garden City shortly after 8 p.m. At some point, the verbal back and forth became physical, and the 17-year-old woman joined Curtis in punching the victim, police said. Several more people, including 48-year-old Jan Roberts and 36-year-old Fatima Greer, allegedly joined the fight, although the relation to the victim and co-defendants is unclear. And during the altercation, someone took the victim's wallet, which contained an unknown amount of cash, debit cards, and personal belongings, according to police. Officers arrived at the bowling alley and arrested Curtis Roberts Greer and the 17-year-old and 2 others, 48-year-old Greta Price and 28-year-old Mary Ellen. 4 officers suffered minor injuries and were treated at the scene. Curtis and 17-year-old were charged with robbery and assault. Roberts was charged with assault, criminal possession of a controlled substance, resisting arrest, obstructing government administration, and unlawful possession of marijuana. Gray was charged with assault and disorderly conduct. Price and Allen were charged with disorderly conduct, and 6 co-defendants were scheduled to be arraigned at First District Court in Hempstead on Monday. It wasn't immediately clear if they had attorneys who could comment on the allegations. Gary L. Alford was running on adrenaline when he arrived for work on Monday in June 2013 at a Drug Enforcement Administration office in Chelsea neighborhood of Manhattan. A tax investigator, he had spent much of the weekend in the living room of his New Jersey townhouse, strolling through arcane chat rooms and old blog posts, reading on well after his fiancée had gone to sleep. Work had given Mr. Alford what he believed was the answer to a mystery that had confounded investigators for nearly 2 years: the identity of the mastermind behind the online drug bazaar known as Silk Road. Criminal known only by his screen name, Dread Pirate Roberts. When Mr. Alford showed up for work that Monday, he had a real name and a location. He assumed the news would be greeted with excitement. Instead, he says, he got the brush off. Mr. Alford, a young special agent with the Internal Revenue Service assigned to work with the DEA, isn't the first person to feel unappreciated at the office. In his case, though, the information he had was crucial to solving one of the most vexing criminal cases of the last few years. While Silk Road by mid-2013 had grown into a juggernaut, selling $300,000 in heroin and other legal goods each day, federal agents hadn't been able to figure out the most basic detail: the identity of the person running the site. It ultimately took Mr. Alford, 38, more than 3 months to gather enough evidence to prevail upon his colleagues to take the suspect seriously. After he convinced them, though, the man he identified, Ross W. Ulbricht, was arrested and Silk Road shuttered. The night of the arrest, Mr. Alford got an email from one of the other special agents at the center of the case. Congrats, Gary. You're The SS Dolls was on the verge of capitalizing after last month's horrible loss in Houston, Texas, which dropped the New York Jets to 5-5. This was linebacker Calvin Pace, who painted it as the turning point in the season. It was a point in the time where we had to come together or the ship was going to sink, I think. Pace. Since then, the Jets have won 5 straight, taking control of their playoff destiny. If they beat the Buffalo Bills in the season finale, they're in the playoffs for the first time since 2010. It's semantics, of course. Most coaches don't like the quote sinking ship analogy because it often means that the coach says there's no locker room. I don't think Pace meant it that way. I just think he felt the season was going under, and it was. Another loss probably would have doomed their postseason chances. They've been operating with no safety net in the last 5 weeks, clearly. Thank you for listening. This has been Ernst and Rose reporting for WKEJ News, live from New York City. Have a great day.